Anyone who watched the Gary Moore Walking By Myself video that I just did, for which I'm eternally grateful for anyone watching it. So one really important thing, if you know this, then you know I'm carrying close to Newcastle as it were. But if you don't, this might be quite interesting. You know how jazz guys quite often play what I would term one finger per fret. And so on. It begins to sound like an exercise. I've always been useless at doing that line, but I'm not a jazzer, right? Whereas rock guys tend to play first finger, if we're in E for example, first finger at the 12th fret, third finger at the 15th, and it lets us go. All those kind of licks, right? It also lets us go. Now, I'm very aware that in modern times, a lot of times you have guitarists have that stretch, which is way beyond me, because I've got pretty small hands. So it's 12, 15, 17, 19. It's hurting the back of my hand, so I wouldn't advise you doing it. But that lick, that's pretty much how we would arrange our fingers. Some guys who are maybe a bit more schooled than me might be like that, we would tend to be like that. And as I say, it lets you go. And you play it scraping, using the flat 5. Now what that means is when you play what I would call one of the classic Gary Moore lines. You know, that kind of Gary Moore phrase with the flat 5 where we're going 12, 15, 15, and you take it down like I just did, etc. And you just keep it here. Play it like that, right? Well, the thing is, when Gary Moore was learning to play the guitar when he was very young in Belfast, when there's no books, no YouTube, no stuff like that, he obviously learned to play with his first and second finger. And if you watch any clips, any films of Gary, all the videos, you'll see this all the time. The lick that maybe you and I would play, Gary would play like that. Now you can see I'm finding it really hard to do. First finger and second finger, as if you wouldn't need the third and the fourth. You see loads of pictures of Gary where he's obviously playing a lick, but you see his fingers are like that. First finger and second finger. I find it really hard to do. But that's one of the many interesting things about Gary Moore's style of playing. He just, you know, he made it up for himself. And as I said in the last video, for me, good shout for greatest guitar player of all time. So that's just a little anecdote about how Gary played. And if you saw him play, I saw him play many times with G-Force, Thin Lizzy. I saw him in Coliseum too, and then laterally solo some played many times, you know. If you're close enough, you could see these two fingers, you know, whizzing about the frets, you know, like a demon, like a man possessed. And he used those first two. And I can't think of anyone offhand. If you know, please tell me who did this. So there you go, Gary Moore.